he's a young entrepreneur, business
Yeah,
owner as well.
yeah,
Um, Now a lot of people your age are not even thinking about that, right? They're thinking about working 9 to 5. What shifted your mind, like from your knowledge of investing and knowing how economies work and all that? What got you into like just wanting to start and run and own your own business?
dude, I'm ambitious as fuck. Like, I don't want to do the status quo, man. Like, I've always known, like, from young, like, I was not meant to, just find one job and work for 30 years and get my pension and all that kind of shit. Like, I'm team fuck pension. Like, fuck a pension. I'll create my own pension. I might even put it on the t-shirt, you know? Seriously, like, fuck a pension. I've been like, everybody's like, get a good job, get a pension. It's like, for what? You want me to work for 60 years for you to give me $400 a month and
Yeah,
me still have to? No, no thanks. I'll figure it out. Thank you.
yeah.
And the same thing, studying rich people, like rich people, sorry, wealthy people. I have to correct myself. Wealthy people, um, almost all of them are business owners to some capacity, whether it's through, you know, um,
Yeah.
owning equity or physically just being a director or part of the business, and it's like once you start understanding like credit and taxes and stuff, then you really understand like the value of having your own business because it opens so many doors for you, right? Like
Yeah.
one thing that I realized is like depending on your lifestyle, like and what you like whatever you want your lifestyle to be, if you're really smart enough, you could literally create businesses around the different areas of your lifestyle and have more than all of the things that you want to do written off just because they're now business expense.
Yes.
Right? Like think about it like, I'm a fighter and like you're a fighter too as well, right? So if you're doing personal training and stuff, if you want to go buy gloves even for yourself, right? Or a mouth guard or shoes and stuff like that, like
It's a business.
all this stuff is a business write off, right? You're still using it personally,
Yes.
but you can still also use it for your business. But I'm saying like even if you just want it for yourself, technically you could write it off. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? But, like, opposed to the money just coming directly out of your pocket, it's actually you're getting something back for it now because it's lowering your tax liability at the end of the year.
Yeah.
So the reason that I got into business, though, I will say, is because I'm a welder. I'm a welder by trade. I went to school for welding.
Yeah.
That the company that I have is technically a welding and contracting company. And the reason that I created the company was because this is actually when I was at UPS. I was working for UPS, and basically, it's a little confusing, but the structure is there's me. There's my boss, who is he's essentially an employment agency, and then there's the company above him, hired by UPS, right? So they're the general contractor.
Yeah.
But my boss is hiring me, and I never see my boss. I only see this guy, right?
Yeah.
So the people that are hiring my boss are the people that I'm reporting to on a daily basis, right? So I built a connection with one of the supervisors for that company. We were sitting there talking, and I'm like, I was making good money, don't get me wrong, but I was like, yo, if I'm making, say, $30 an hour, and I'm here every day, 55 hours a week, busting my ass, like, how much is my boss getting for just providing me? And I was like, interesting. I was like, he's probably getting what I'm getting hourly, right? So initially, we're like, okay, he's probably making $30 an hour per person. And I'm like, damn. So I always had a problem with it because, like, I'm there sweating, it's hot, working 10, 12-hour shifts,
Yes.
sweating from my neck back to my ass crack, all that kind of shit. And it was like, it's so wrong to me that I have an imaginary work partner that is always standing next to me when I'm lifting up steel and burning myself, and it's
Yeah.
getting paid exactly as much as I'm getting paid, and is doing nothing,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Yeah.
how do I get there? That's where I want to get. So I went to the supervisor of the company and was like, yo, like, so theoretically speaking, like, if I started my own contracting company, like, could I be in the same position as this guy? Would I be able to get contracts with you, essentially? And he's like, hell yeah, we have a certain relationship now. I can help you out, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. So what's the process of starting a company? He said, I need a lawyer and all this kind of shit. But then I realized from
You don't. Yeah.
doing
You
my
don't
own
want
research, you
that.
don't need no fucking lawyer to start a business, right? There's no business license, nothing. You go to an accountant, you pay your money. Next thing you know, there's a business. Bang,
Yeah.
just like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I was like, I think I went to the project manager of that company above my boss and sat down with him, and I was like, oh, so theoretically speaking, again, if somebody here had a company, how would they get on the list of people that you call for work? Because essentially, these larger general contractors, for these big facilities, right? They have like say 5 or 6 different companies that they call to provide guys, right?
Yeah.
Like, i.e., my boss is one of them. So it's like, how does a company get on that list? And like, funny enough, they were literally like, we just put your name on the list. They don't ask you for resume. They don't ask you for references. They don't ask what
Just
you
put your
do.
name on
They
the
just put
list.
your name on the list, bro. Like, there's no like process to it at all. Like, you say you can get this done. Yes, I know you. Okay, you have a company. Boom, we'll put you on this list. When we need guys, we'll call you. I was like, shit. Okay, cool. And then I was like, well, as you know, I was explaining how I didn't know what my boss was making. I was very curious. So I was like, so what's the average going rate for a contractor on this site? And he's like, "Oh, I'll just tell you what your boss is making." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck, great!" Like, obviously, like I'm controlling myself, like but
Yeah.
like in my head, I'm like, "Great, this is exactly what I'm here for." Perfect. Da, 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 da. Pulls up a document, and he's like, "Currently, your boss is getting $50 per man." And he was explaining this to me. I was like, "In terms of payment, how does it work?" He's like, "Oh, basically, we give you a certain rate, right? And then it's your job to hire people, and what you pay those people is not our business."
Yeah.
And I was
Just
like,
whatever
"Oh,
rate they give you is whatever rate they give you. You determine the split based on
exactly,
your
right."
business. Yeah.
So I find out that my boss is making $50 an hour per man, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. Now I know I'm getting $30, so that means he's making $20 a man. Probably we'll say, he could be paying other people different, but we'll just say for easy numbers, $20 a man,
Yeah.
right? So next, I went on the list, the sign-in sheet, and was like, how many guys does he have working for him on this site? The man has 29 guys working for him.
So
At
he's making
29,
cake. He's making cake just sitting
bro, I know you're a math guy. You already did the math in your head. Trust me, it didn't even make sense to me. I'm like, hold on. So $20 an hour at 29 mans is, I want to say, $580 an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At
Somewhere around there.
55 hours a week before overtime, which is double time after 40 hours, he's making $31,000 off of what? Doing fucking nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Right?
Hundred.
Literally, oh, hey, can you do this job? Oh, you need this job done? Yes, he'll be there here on Monday. Okay, cool. And one thing that I learned about business as well is that these businesses and a lot of business is promising something that you can't actually give yet. Like, he'll go